Hello, Eric Gimbal, ericgimbal.com, and today I'm going to present you, at last, I've got it here, the Nikon Coolpix P1000. You see the size of the beast, okay? Now I'm going to put the zoom maximum. Look at the size. This is crazy. This is massive. This is the equivalent of 3000 millimeters. This is incredible. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you all about it. The good, the bad, as always. But let's start. So first of all, thank you to photosura.com for lending me the camera. I think they're really courageous to lend me the camera because I did a test, a review of the P900. You can check it here, okay? And look at the test. I didn't like it at all. I was flamed for what I said about it. And so they are really, thank you very much for lending me the camera so I can tell again what I like or don't like. What can I tell? Well, first of all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ericgimbal, my website ericgimbal.com. If you have any questions, send me an email to info@ericgimbal.com. So I'm going to sell it. Look, Mr. Nikon, I'm looking at you. I liked that camera. Yes, I did. There are some plus, there are some minus, but I think at last Nikon has made a bridge that is okay. It's okay. It has its advantage, it's inconvenient, but overall this is a good bridge, which its limits, but I think it's good. Okay, let's carry on. So I'm going to tell you a few data about this camera. First of all, the zoom is 3000 millimeters, which is equivalent in full frame, which is massive. Okay, the aperture goes from 2.8 up to f8 according to the focal length you're selecting. It supports RAW files, so congratulations, Mr. Nikon, for that, because I think that was really missing for all their bridge camera misses it. Panasonic has it, and Nikon didn't do it. I don't know why. It does 4K video, and very important, it has an external microphone connector, and I think all these features makes this look like a serious camera, something a serious option for someone who wants to make video or serious pictures. So good point so far. And this toy, that is not really a toy, it's a serious tool now, cost around 1,000 euros. I don't know how much it is in the States, but in Europe it's around 1,000 euros. This is massive price for that, for bridge. Ooh. But they take it seriously with the features they've put in there, and honestly, with 1,000 euros you'll never get anything that goes up to 3000 millimeters. So at the moment, at least, you know, but anything that does RAW and this, if you think about a reflex, it does not even exist to have 3000 millimeters. So I'm going to show you a bit of the beast, a bit more. This is massive. If you look at my hand, you see this is massive. It weighs 1,400 grams, which is massive. Okay, the buttons are really well organized. Here you have a screen, orientable screen, flippable, but it's not touchable. So it's not. I don't know why they have not done it touchable. Okay, the buttons are quite fine where they're placed. You have the aperture and the speed, or vice versa. I can't remember. You can move the zoom in two ways. One is here. Okay. So that's your hand, but you can actually also activate it here. Okay, and if you want to go back where it was, you just press here, and it goes where it was before when you started. Okay, well, you can actually configure that so this button has several possibilities. Okay, here you have a function button that you actually can use it for access whatever you want, activate the change the ISO or whatever. You can do everything you want with that. Okay, you have a flash here. Okay, the flash actually detects if the zoom is too way out, so it will make a shadow, so then it doesn't let you activate it. Well, you can open it, but it won't shoot. So so far I think it's really well. The menus are great. The menus are easy to use. Well, here I put it in Spanish, but you actually they're very simple to use. I mean, even if you have not read the manual, I think you can use them properly, easily. Okay, and here you have for the aperture and the speed, and it's very easy to use. So to make sure that no one can say that I didn't put the camera on a tripod properly, whatever, I've done it. It's here, as you can see. It's a Manfrotto. It is a very good tripod. I'm going to test the camera from 24 to 3000 millimeter optical. I'm not going to use a digital zoom that is included. I'm going to use only the optical so we can test. I'll do photography and video, so we see the results. Well, in 1 second the video will be edited, so you'll be seeing it, but right now I've not done the picture yet, so I'm going to do it, and I hope the results are okay. Let's see what's the truth behind this 3000 millimeter. Well, for the test I've used the self timer up to 1000 millimeter. I put it on 3 seconds, and then from 1000 to 3000 millimeter I put it on 10 seconds to give time to everything to stop moving. If when I touch, I press the shutter, so to make sure everything was stable. So now you can see the results. And now for the video test, I've done first take with the stabilization activated, and a second one without. Obviously, when you do the zoom, you have to touch the camera, so you obviously transmit some vibration. But in a real life, I mean, you will have the same thing, because if you want to zoom while doing videos, you will have no choice but touching the camera anyway. I've just sat in my van to tell you a bit more about the camera. I remind you, this is a bridge camera. It means you cannot change the lens. So it's important when you choose a bridge camera that the focal length that the zoom has is what you actually need. In this case, 24 millimeter up to 3000 millimeters. So it's very important, because otherwise you cannot change the lens. So if it's too short or too long, yeah, that's a problem. And also it has a 16 million megapixel. I do not want you to tell this is not enough. I don't know, I always told you, don't point at me. Well, I pointed you. Please do not complain about the 16 million pixels, because this is more than enough. Many professionals, we are using 16 to 20 million pixels. This is far enough, and you can actually print a large print with this without any problem. The autofocus is impressive, really impressive. This was my main complaint about the P900, that it was not focusing properly. And in this case, this is incredible. I mean, really, I'm really happy about this. I should not be surprised because this is what anyone should expect. But after the P900, I am surprised and really glad it works. Only in a few cases I didn't get the focus okay, but it was a really complicated situation, and I think any camera would have been a problem to get in focus. Also, this camera lets you do manual focus, and there is a ring on the barrel of the lens that lets you use two ways: or manual focus, or you can actually use it to compensate exposure. So it's great. I mean, you can do it on the fly. It's really practical. I really like it. The flash synchronizes at all speeds. It means that if you want to do some strobist, I mean, out of camera flash, you can actually do it. It's synchronized up to 1/4000th of a second. So this is great. Very happy with the exposure, the way it measures the exposure. It works really well. And right now I show you a video when I go from my feet in on the floor where are normally the feet. It goes from dark up to the sky, and it goes with highlights, and you can see it compensate and calculate and expose really well. This is video. When you do pictures, same thing. I mean, it's really precise, and when you're in manual, the indication is also really correct. It's really good. Everything was not going to be perfect. I'm passing that right now some pictures in with high ISO from 100 ISO up to 6400 or 6400, say as you want, and as you can see, from 800 to 1600 the quality is really going down, and then I think 3200 and 6400 are not usable. This camera lets you go up to 1200 and something ISO if you force it, but I don't think it's not even worth trying. The quality is too loud. It's too bad. Okay. Oh well, if you thought 3000mm were a lot, sit down. I'm going to tell you a bit more. There is a digital zoom. You can go up to 12,000mm. This is crazy. Okay, so right now I'm going to I show you a picture of a parking lot. It's on 24mm. Now I'm going to jump to 3000mm, and though you see this leaf on the floor from a tree where the leaves are normally from, I go on to 12,000mm. This is a crop picture, not by me, but I think the camera is cropping because if it's digital zoom, this is the only way. But I get the picture. So if you're some kind of paparazzi, this is perfect. Okay, one thing, to get to this 12,000mm, you must be on the bird mode or on the moon mode. Yeah, that's right. There is a mode so you can make picture of the moon. Some people every month they make picture of the moon. The full moon, they don't realize you always see the same side of the moon. The other side is hidden. Well, if they like it, it is possible and easy with this camera. I've shot RAW and also Jpeg, and I think the Jpeg are really clean. I think they had some sharpening there because they look sharper than the RAW files. Some camera makers, they actually cheat, and the RAW is not exactly RAW. They do some fine tuning before giving you the RAW. I don't know if Nikon is doing it, but I do think this RAW file needs more work than direct JPEG. That's clear. That's normal, but that's clear that it is the way it is. And I think the JPEG are coming out really clean. I think it's perfect. I mean, many people won't feel the need of using RAW file. Now I'm showing you some pictures and video of a tramway, trolleybus that is passing by. I do think the quality, but the colors are great. I think the colors are real, a bit saturated maybe, but I think people who like to have nice colors and don't want to fine tune in post-production, they're going to be really happy. Didn't work anything on this color as it came out of the camera, and I think this is really great. Many people wonder what the difference between 24 and 3000 millimeters, because it's hard for them to grasp really what 3000 is. Okay, so right now I'm going to pass you some pictures where it marks where I will point at the 3000 millimeters. So here, first picture in 24 and then on 3000. As you can see, this is impressive how close you can get. This is not the highest quality, it was handheld, but it gives you an idea. It's impressive. I know that many people like that kind of powerful zoom to do bird watching and bird photography, and there is a mode for that, a scene. I found a pigeon and it was on the roof, so I made a picture. I used the bird mode, bird scene, and honestly it comes sharper than if you try to do it yourself in manual, and so I think this is a good way of making a bird photography to use this feature. Now I have to speak about the bad points and the inconvenient. The inconvenient is more about taste, and the bad point, they actually you can find a solution to them. Okay, so the first one is that the battery lasts 250 shots or 120 minutes. This is the first time ever I review a camera and I stay without battery. First time it happens to me. So this is a real problem, because if you're going to be on the road the whole day, you probably need a second or third or fourth battery, or use a battery pack the same as we use on cell phones, and connect it to the camera, because otherwise I am sure you will stay without battery. Okay, and that brings me to the second black point. I'll said it in the short unboxing I did. The problem with the charger, it is a charger you need to connect to the camera to charge a battery. So if you buy extra battery, you probably to need the optional charger that you need to buy it. The optional charger that lets you remove the battery from the camera and put it in the charger to charge. You can go away, go and make picture while the battery is charging at home or at your hotel. Okay, so that's the other bad point. And then there is a ridiculous point. It's really so ridiculous. You know that there is a small piece of plastic that you can put in the hot shoe, the flash hot shoe, so it doesn't get humid and doesn't get rusty, or not rusty, with the oxide or whatever you call it. And Nikon doesn't give it to you. They sell it optional. This is something that costs about 50 cents on eBay. This is ridiculous that they sell it as optional. I mean, I feel ashamed for them. It would be better not to make it and not give the option than to sell it. This is ridiculous that they don't give you that. With a camera that costs €1,000, this is ridiculous. Okay, as I like you, so I'm going to give you a few tips on how to use a camera that size. But more than the camera of this size, I speak about the zoom, okay, the tele lens. First thing, you hold it like this. You put your hand underneath. Never here. I see people with a camera like this. No, because you're not stable. First, this hand, your left hand, holds the camera, and your right hand is going to trigger. Okay. So first, use this. Don't look at the screen. If you're with the screen, you're going to be like this. So look at the finder, the viewfinder, okay, and then you put your elbow in your stomach, and then you inspire a bit. You expire a bit, and you lock, and then you press the trigger. Very important. You never hit the trigger. You must press really gently until it goes. It's same when you do archery. You don't do like this. No, you until the cord just go and the arrow flies. Okay, so it's very important. If you trigger a gun or whatever, I think it's very similar. You just caress the trigger. So it's very important to do this. If you don't do it, many of your pictures will be moved. So try this, it works. So let's get to the conclusion. First of all, this is the first time I review a Nikon bridge camera, and I am happy with the results. I did many of them, never liked them, so I'm happy with the results. So first of all, take into account that this is a massive camera. It weighs almost 1.5 kilos. It's really big. At the end of the first day, my hand was really hurting because of the weight and the size. So this is a specialized tool. If you were thinking, okay, it can do everything, because from 24 to 3000 millimeter, I'll take it with me anywhere, I can do any kind of picture, forget about this. This is not going to happen. You will need a second camera, a smaller one, for a normal picture. So you should really get this picture only if you need the part from 1200 or 500 millimeter up to 3000, or 1200 millimeter up to 3000. Otherwise, there are other options. If you need a RAW file and 600 millimeter is okay for you, then I would look at the Panasonic Lumix FZ300. It opens at 2.8 and goes up to 600 millimeter. If you don't need RAW file, I think the Sony that goes up to 1200 millimeter, the Sony HV400X, I think, is a better option size-wise. If you really need the part from 1200 up to 3000, then this is a very good option. This is a very good camera. Take into account that nothing exists for 1000 euros to give you 3000 millimeter. Take also into account that no professional use 3000 millimeter ever. When they use reflex, at the most they go up to 600 millimeter and multiply by 2 with I don't know, I call magnifier, and they go up to 1200. And normally what they do is get close to their target, to the subject, and get a better picture. So you will get a tool that no one normally uses. So maybe you should learn how to get closer to the birds instead of being very far. Also, don't expect this top photo quality that will win a National Geographic prize, okay? Because it's not as sharp, you won't get what you get with the reflex. And also think that when you go above 500 millimeter, the air needs to be clean, no heat, nothing that makes the air moving. So this is a focal length that you normally use early morning when it's still cold. So think all this. Think if you actually need a camera. Think if the features are okay for you and how you're going to use it, when you're going to use it, and if it's okay, really, if it really matches what you need. Otherwise, it's not the camera for you. But if all the feature and the characteristic really match what you need, then I can say this time Nikon has kept up with their promises, and they really give what they say they're giving you. So yes, in this case, yeah, go ahead and get it. Otherwise, take other options. But if you need this 1200 to 3000 millimeter, this is the only, I would say, the only payable option. Okay, so that's it for the review. Thank you very much for watching it. Thank you very much, Photosura, for lending me the camera. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ericgibaud, my website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, you can send me an email to info@ericgibaud.com. My Facebook, ericgibaud.com/ericgibaud photo, my Instagram, ericgibaud, my Twitter, ericgibaud. Thank you very much. Bye.